My name is Cheri, and you have wandered into my stamp studio, where today I am going to be making a really fun card. And I know if you've seen the picture, you might think it looks difficult. It is so super easy, you're going to be surprised. But I'm going to be using the Snowman Season Suite, and I want to tell you just a couple of things about it before we start. One, it will be my free online class in October. And the way you do my free online classes, they're free, and you get the materials to make the 3 cards, and you will get a link to private videos so nobody sees them. And they're always fun projects. They're like all the other projects that I do on my videos. But you'll get the supplies. So like whatever I would use today on this card, the little ribbon and the embellishment and the cardstock and the paper, all that I send to you. So it's fun, and you get to join along with. You just have to buy the bundle. And I will have some details up on my website probably in the next 3 or 4 days. I have camp this week, so it'll be after that. So you'll definitely need the stamps and the punch, because this is another stamp punch bundle. So you order that. You have to order the stamps and the punch if you already have it and you've already bought it from somebody other than me. If you've bought it from me, then just email me and I can work that out from you. If you've bought it from somebody else, then you can make whatever they've shown you with it, because this is just for the people that buy this stuff from me. So once you buy the stamp and the punch from me and use the host code, then I also have a little list of the colors that you'll need. For this one, it's pretty obvious because you're going to need most of the colors that are in the designer series paper. But then about mid-October, I send you all of the supplies. And it's super fun. You'll really enjoy it. This month is the Harvest Hellos, and I've been working on those projects. Those girls are going to love it. But the project I'm showing you today, the other reason you're going to love it, a lot of you know that we just had a demonstrator. Well, there was also a customer version too. But the demonstrators had a little bit more business stuff. We did a demonstrator class for the holiday catalog kickoff, and there was one locally for girls who live in Indiana, and then there was one, I should have done a my face in this, but I didn't think about the talking part. But we also did an online one. So now all of the online girls have been mailed their packets, which is super fun. They did 9 actual projects, and there were a couple of bonus business kind of things for them, but this is one of the projects. There were 3 of us that hosted the event, and so each of us did 3 projects, and then we did the class was based off the perfect plaid. So the online girls have that stamp set. The girls that were live did cards from other stamp sets, but then every card had a perfect plaid. So online cards either had a perfect plaid and then had a matching one. So this card I'm going to show you today, this is the one that the girls did at the live event, and then the girls online did the same card with just the perfect plaid. You're not going to get to see that one because I'm going to keep that just for the girls who did the class. But you could probably think of a way yourself to do this exact same card, but not use the Snowman, but use the perfect plaid. So that was how we did our class. If you follow just my channel, you won't see online cards ever because I only did 3 of the projects. And I'm not going to show you all 6 of my projects. I will show you probably 3 of them, and I will stagger them. So that way, if you want to see all of them, at some point you can do our classes. We do offer them for demonstrators and customers. So, and live, and so far we haven't done a live customer event, but we'll probably bring that into our repertoire, and we'll be doing another one in January. So we also did swaps. So I want to show you, this was by Sarah, who's a really talented demonstrator. So we did swaps on the day, the live event, and this is a card she made featuring the same stamp set that I'm going to use today. I just wanted to show you how cute and how adorable her little stamp set, her card was with the stamp set. And then I also did my swap that day, and there is a video up with that. And part of the reason I did this swap was because you're going to see the card I made today. We used the arms out of the embellishment kit. So I had a whole lot of eyes, carrots, and buttons left from their projects. The girls that did the online class, they all got just a packet of a whole box of embellishments on their own. So they'll be able to make lots of little snowman kind of things coming up. So we had a whole section that we called flip cards. So this was my flip card. And you may think it looks difficult, so not difficult. So it just takes 2 passes with your die cutting machine. This is a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock that I've cut in half. So it's now 6 by 12, and I scored it at 4 and 8 inches. So whichever method you need to score. And then you're going to fold a Z fold, which means just think the letter Z. So they don't go in on each other. They form a letter Z, and then just get a nice crisp little fold. So see, it makes a Z. That's a Z fold. We also had these on the day. If you are looking for gifts for your stamping friends, or for your downline, or for team members, or you know, we like to do pillow gifts when we go to onstage. We have these available too, little personalized phone folders. And these, the fun thing about these is they swap out. So as we get new designer series papers, this is the Christmas one, but as we get new ones, you can swap them out and have seasonal ones. So you're going to need your die cutting machine, and then the stitched nested labels. I think that's what these are. There's so many nested and stitched and everything, sometimes I forget. So there is a couple of tricks with this. You're going to lay your thing on Z folded. And you know, it's better if you run things through the machine, not straight on. But I know sometimes it's hard for people because the optical illusion of it all. So lay it on here. You want it on here straight, but you don't want it to necessarily go on straight. So lay it on straight. Once it's on straight, just catty corner it. The paper, not your stamp. All of the girls at our live event, they like to use washi tape. If you watch my channel, you know I'm not a fan of the washi tape because it often ruins your card. Especially if you're doing it at an event, the more people that used it, the more sticky it got, and then it started tearing people's cards. So see, you can see now it's going to go through at an angle, and it's not going to go straight through. So one pass, no more than one. And I will tell you, if you're doing this with the dies that Stampin' Up! Does not make, like if you have them from older catalogs, it doesn't work as well because our new dies, they're just easier. And it does take a little bit more muscle because you're going through 3 layers of cardstock. Well, you're actually only going through 2. That's the magic of this card. So you can see it did not cut through the back. So we have 1, and then you should have 2 panels. So one we're going to stamp on, one is going to be a scrap, and then the back, it doesn't cut through, but it does leave the pretty little frame. And then one we're going to stamp on, we're going to remount over this, so you're still going to see the pretty little frame. So this one here, that's our scrap. This is the 2 cuts. All you need for this card, 2 cuts. If you saw the picture and you thought, yeah, this looks way too difficult, it's not too difficult. So again, put this up here, both at the same time, because you just saw you can cut 2 pieces of paper with these dies at once, no problem. Lay them on here. Again, you don't want it to go straight through. This one's not as hard for the optical illusion, and those of you that are a little bit more with the straight, I'm not so hard with the straight. Like, my stuff doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't bother me. So now we have 2 of these. And one was just a scrap piece of paper, and the other one was the scrap that we just made. And if you like to save paper, you can see what I did on this one. I kind of put it on here straight, so now I have a little frame that I can use later. I don't need it for that card, but if you lay these on straight, your 2 scraps can then be used later. In my office, in my studio, it just becomes way too much paper overload, so those all see the trash because I just can't with all the paper. So then the next secret to this card is to lay it out and work one section at a time. I need a new plate in there because that's one that we took that day, and it is way messy. It's got lots of paper scraps on it. Okay, so first we are going to take our Coastal Cabana. Oh, and you know what? I started to say I did not get a memento, but I'm at my desk. I have lots of ink, and I am counting the days now till my husband repaints this table. So those of you that have a problem when I stamp on my table, it's going to get worse before it gets better because the light is at the end of the tunnel of me getting my table redone. So I'm just going to add some snowflakes on this panel, and then I'm going to go over to this panel and add some. And they don't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to flip it back, and on my front panel I'm going to add some. They don't have to be everywhere because you, like the stamping on this is minimal for the background. And I took my colors, the Coastal Cabana, and now I'm going to use Real Red. Is all from the Designer Series paper that comes with this stamp set. So here's the red and some other tiny little snowflakes that come in it. And again, I don't want overkill because I don't want the background to overwhelm my design. Just make sure you're kind of angling them at different angles. The first time I made this card and the card that continued to be photographed, and it was used at the as one of the samples. We had more than one sample, but it was still one of the samples at our event. Had the wrong color because I looked at the paper without looking at the word, and at first I thought it was pool party, and so I stamped with pool party. It was not pool party, and then I stamped with mint. And it was not mint. So my snowflakes are the wrong color. So I can always tell which of the cards that were mine because we made each other's cards so we would have more than one sample. Okay, so here we go for this stamping. Now we're going to do a whole lot with the memento. So there's a little snowman's cap. Let's put it up here. And then we're going to use these two little pieces here. And on this, you can see where they stuck together. When you run them through, you just pull them apart. In fact, if you're watching this and you're doing, oh no, the live girls. Yeah, I think, do you? I can't remember if your card has these run through. If you do, and you think you've lost them, because a couple of people on the live day, they thought that they had misplaced one of these. And it's just because they're stuck together. So let's get all of these stamps. For this little thing here, we need 2 snowmen. So if you were doing this same technique and you're using a a rubber set, a red rubber, stamp first and then run through your dies. But because this is photopolymer, we're able to see where we're going to stamp. So we can stamp second. So we have those. I'm going to move all these out of the way as I stamp. So here's the one that we saved that we want to be on the card. And we've got this little snow guy here. Stamp him. I'm just trying to move these out of the way. And then I think right here, there's a Merry Christmas with a really fun font. And the Perfectly Plaid, the set that we used for our online version of the class, the words in it worked perfectly well. To make this card as well. So that was fun. So what stamp do I have left? I have one more words. So we're going to flip this over. Let me see. Where do we want to put that one? I don't want to stamp it in the wrong place. It needs to go on the top. So this one says, hoping this season builds heartwarming memories. And it fits just up here. So that's all of our stamping. So then we have a little bit of quick coloring. Nothing on that side needs to be colored. And this is why it's easier if you do this card to just have everything kind of laid out this way. So you see that you're getting everything at once. Again, I've pulled the colors from the cardstock, from the Designer Series paper. And I'm just using Stampin' Write markers because there's no blending. So you could get your blends out if you want. But I find if I have my blends, I just color longer than I need to. So let's do his hat. Get a little bit of the shading of the bottom of his feet and kind of along the sides. That's all we need for that. And then we have some Real Red. Let's get the holly berries on the hat. Maybe get his cheeks a little bit. They've got lines, so instead of coloring them and having them be a harsh red, just kind of take your brush tip and just barely brush on a little bit of red. Okay, and then we've got Flirty Flamingo, which is a really fun color, I think, that the Stampin' Up! Designers put into this paper. And it's also the reason that I did not use the carrots, because the carrots that come in the embellishment pack are orange, and I was trying to stick to the color of the paper. So get those. I'm going to do the little ribbon of his hat in the Flirty Flamingo. And then this is the Coastal Cabana. And I'm going to do the leaves of his hat. And then just add a little bit of color to the snowflakes that are up there. I'm going to take my slate back and add a little bit to his cold buttons, just so they're a little bit darker. And we're almost done with this. It's a super fast card. So now you just have to mount it together. We're also making this at my camp if you're in the Indianapolis area. Today's the last day that you can sign up. So we're going to take this big piece here, which I already showed you, and you're just going to remount it. Oh, and I just ran out of adhesive, because you know that always happens when you're on camera. I go through so much adhesive and I never run out unless I'm filming. So let's see if I have that magically laying. I don't have any snail, but I have fuse. So, you know, if you still have fuse laying around like I do, it's an older Stampin' Up! Adhesive. So now we are going to take our designer series paper, and I'm going to put this one on the front. So you want to make sure that you don't put your adhesive on this, because if you put it on this, then back here it may be on, like it'll touch through. So just put your adhesive on your card. And then take this, make sure trees are right side up if you're using the tree piece, but there's lots of fun pieces in this card stuck, and then designer series paper, so you can use whatever. So now you can see our snow guys back here is peeping through. So now open this up, and you're gonna flip over here to this panel. And put your adhesive here. And put your little, these are cut 2.5 by 4. So now we've got, how fun is that? So no matter which way you look, there's some fun paper, super, super easy. I mean, these are fast enough that you really could do them if you do Stamp-A-Stacks or something fun like that. So now you're gonna take these, put adhesive on one of your snow guys, and put adhesive on the whole thing. Flip him over. And then again, you need adhesive on the whole of him, so the part that's gonna touch the paper gets stuck. And then just match him right back up, like this. So now you can see where we're going with it, but this way you also have one. So now everywhere has something. And then just a few little fun things to add. I mean, the card could be done if that's all you have. If you don't want to add any embellishments, let your card be done. Like if you're doing them quickly, or you're gonna stick them someplace where they need to be mailed. But here's the Snowman embellishment kit, and this is a brand new one. I've already gone through so many of these. So I'm gonna take his arms, and if you do my free online class, you won't get a whole one, but you're gonna get a bunch of little pieces, because you're gonna need them for your cute little cards. So this is like some of the stuff, like if you were doing my free online class and this was the card we were making, which won't be because they're always surprise cards, you would get all of these pieces. Like when you followed along in the video, you would just be making this with me. So look how completely adorable he is with little arms. Then in the kit, there are also hats. And they come in all of the colors that match the paper. So let's take a red hat, because my other sample has a green one. And then I found scale-wise, scale bothers me on cards. I like everything to kind of stay to scale. Stick all this back. And then the best thing about this little box is cards fit in it, so you could make a whole thing of cards and give this as a gift. How fun would that be? I just took this. You want to make sure that you're not cutting the seams. or the stitching itself. So I just went to the back side and I just ever so slightly trimmed it because it was kind of large for his head. Which, you know, I guess snowmen can wear whatever size hat they choose, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more the size of his head. And then here's a tip. Put the adhesive on the card, which was easier when I had snail, because if it doesn't stick extremely well to the hat. Now look how adorable he is now. How cute is that? So then we've got, let's go with the new Snowfall Accents Puff Paint, which you can see I used it at class. I have lots, anything that has a gold washi tape's always mine. That's how me and my girlfriends keep it apart. If you used puff paint in the past, it was thicker. This is a whole lot thinner. So those of us that have been stamping with Stampin' Up! For a couple of decades, we remember the puff paint from before. So I'm gonna put it in 2 places on my card, but this is a whole lot thinner, so be careful when you first use it. Well, I haven't opened it since the day, so let's see if I can get it open. I don't have the, there we go. I don't have the strongest hands. There's lots of times we would not eat what I had in the kitchen if my husband wasn't here too. See, it's already dripping out. So this is not like before it was thick. So you put it on here. Put it on the inside of the card. And then I'm gonna put it over on, move all this stuff out of the way so you can see. I'm just gonna put it over here, but because it's so thin, be careful that you don't cover up your snowman. Okay, and then stick the lid back on. And make sure you get it on tight because you don't want to waste it. But this will last, I mean, we've had, I don't know how many girls, if everybody used it on that day, but we've had a lot of girls make cards with it and you can see it's still practically full. Then just take your heat gun, our heat tool, and let this get a little hot. And then just dry it. You don't want to get it too close because it's so thin that it will cover up your pattern. So let it start drying before you get it close, but then when you can tell, see now that it's starting to puff, now you can get it close. And then it won't move anymore. You could sprinkle some dazzling diamonds or some of the new glitter on top of it. How fun is that? It may make your adhesive come apart a little bit. So if it does, just stick a little bit more adhesive underneath the panels that may have come unstuck. Or you could also put this on before you do stick your things together. And we're going to take a little bit, this is the ribbon that's also in the suite, the curly ribbon. It reminds me of my new favorite show on TV, A Very Brady Renovation, because this reminds me of the ribbon that Cindy Brady, and well, we all wore in our hair back in the 70s, in our pigtails. So you're just going to put a little bit up here. You don't need a lot. You don't even need to tie a bow. So if you're bow challenged, this is just the kind of ribbon you need, because it doesn't need a bow. It just needs a knot. And then it frays a little bit. It looks nice and fluffy and wintry warm. And then one last little thing. We're going to take some of the holiday rhinestone basic jewels. And these are my free online, I mean, if you purchase $50 or more with me in September, this is the thank you gift that you're going to get with your thank you card. And they are fabulous. I am maybe on my, maybe my 3rd or 4th pack of these because they match everything. I'm just going to use the blue ones. And I'm just putting this on this side of the card. It doesn't need to be on the other side. And then a couple of the red ones. It's not the exact color of red, but it's close enough. And I'm not using any of the giant ones. I'm just using the smaller ones. And it just adds a tiny bit more sparkle. Let's put them down here. And then I'm going to take my bone folder again once it's all been heated and like folded. So just put it back down. Just drag your bone folder on it and it represses everything back down together. open this side up because there's nothing over there to press. It will make it all the way nice and flat again. When this is all nice and cooled off, I will take it and run my whole bone folder on it. But look how sweet and adorable this is. And it looks like it took a lot of work. It looks like it might have been a fancy fold. You may notice if you follow my channel, I'm not a fan of the fancy fold. Partly because the ladies that come to camp, you know, they like to come and stamp and enjoy themselves. And we don't like to do math. We don't like to do a lot of things that tax our brains at the end of a Friday work week or at the beginning of a lovely Saturday weekend. So I tend to keep it simple for them. And I know when they come, and this week, unless they watch the video, they're going to be like, yeah, I'm not sure about this one. Super simple. 2 run-throughs, your die cutting machine, and you have everything you need for that. So here's the other one. I mean, there's no difference. He has a different color hat, and it has 2 wrong colors of ink. This will always be my first one. I cannot give this one to anyone. But super, super simple. The main things are to remember that when you put it together, if you're doing it, and you want to do it just like this, lay it this way, and then lay it that way. So as you stamp, you make sure everything's mounted on the right panel. But they're fun, and we had some fabulous flip cards that we did. This was the only double panel flip. We had different directions of flip, different kinds of flips. We just had some flipping fun at our event. So we will have another one of those coming up in January. So this one still needs to be pressed. On this one, I just took my bone folder and went like this once, but I want to wait till this is nice and cool back there before I do it because I don't want to smash my snow. So everybody have a great day. If you want to do my free online class that will go with the snowman, just keep watching my website. I'll have some details coming up about that next week, but you can't buy the stamp set for it until October, and then that's when the sign up for that goes. You just sign up by buying the stamp set and the punch, which I didn't even use the punch today. So everybody have a great day. Bye.